Man, you guys remember Saturday mornings, don't you? Waking up, watching Sonic X on the 4Kids TV or Fox Box, making yourself a big bowl of cereal. And I mean, what cereal did you go for? It is Pride Month, Lucky Charms Month, but Lucky Charms ain't exactly what we're talking about here. You know, we're talking about Kellogg's because they're gay. At least that's what some people seem to think, with Dylan Mulvaney posing with Tony the Tiger. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, and let's get into whether or not Kellogg's is going to face the same fate as Bud Light or Target. Is Kellogg's next? Dylan Mulvaney goes blonde and poses with Tony the Tiger at the Tony Awards. You know, I never considered cereal to be such a hotbed of LGBT issues, but I mean, what can you say? When Wheaties turns you trans, you eventually move on, like I said, to Lucky Charms and now Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Dylan Mulvaney, 26, proves blondes have more fun as she posed. Oh, really? You're gonna respect the she pronoun, even though it's very obvious this is a grift? Alright, you do you. Posed with Kellogg's Tony the Tiger on her arms. The transgender influencer appeared on the 76th Tony Awards magenta carpet at United Palace Theater on Sunday evening wearing a black diamond embellished gown featuring a mesh corset that revealed her shoulders. I mean, because that's really all there is to reveal. There's no breasts or anything, although I can say at least the 5 o'clock shadow wasn't revealed due to all the caked on makeup. Mulvaney posed alongside Tony the Tiger, who was swapped out with his iconic red scarf for a customized bow tie featuring his name. Tony was a great gentleman holding Mulvaney's train as she walked the carpet. They posed for several photos, exchanging smiles and laughs. The Tiger will present a unique gold-filled cereal bowls engraved with Kellogg's Frosted Flakes at the Tony's after party. Does any of this not sound incredibly lame? Like, let's take the annoying LGBT stuff out of it. The fact that, you know, incredible grifter who, let's face it, Dylan Mulvaney, great at the grift. Gotta give him credit where credit's due. But let's take that out of it. The red carpet for the Tony Awards, and they're handing out gold-filled cereal bowls engraved with Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. That sounds like something you'd hear on Family Guy or South Park making fun of the Tony Awards. But no, this is real life. I mean, Dylan Mulvaney just sort of adds insult to injury at this point. It's not like we don't have enough problems going on in the world or whatnot, you know, with World War III possibly on the horizon, starving kids in Africa, things like that. But sure, let's talk about unique gold-filled cereal bowls engraved with Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Tony is thrilled to celebrate all the amazing talent, presenting them with a new Tony moment after the curtain falls. Laura Newman, Senior Director of Brand Marketing at Kellogg Company, told Fansided. Should Mulvaney's appearance with iconic Frosted Flakes mascot hint toward a collaboration, Kellogg's could be headed to a controversial outcome. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, look, Kellogg's wasn't known for being, you know, as like pro-masculine or right-wing as something like Bud Light was, for example, but I do remember, like I said, growing up watching Saturday morning cartoons, in between every commercial break in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you always had these sports-oriented kids commercials where after they were done scoring the baseball point, you know, they would have some Frosted Flakes where Tony would recognize the masculinity of the sport. Maybe there were some feminine ones as well. I don't remember any, but that doesn't mean they didn't exist. But all I'm saying is that when I was a young boy and was watching F-Zero GP Legend, I never once would have imagined an image like this. It's quite frankly tragic. What's even more amazing to me is that Tony the Tiger here, being a cat, probably has more pussy than this fake woman, so, you know, there's that too. Mulvaney has faced intense backlash for her recent LGBTQIA+ campaign with Bud Light, which cost the beer company Anheuser-Busch $27 billion in market value. Yes, guys, if you've not been following, that is billion with a B, according to Fox News. Bud Light initially defended the move before later offering a half-hearted apology to its customers, and they've been backpedaling ever since. And it's not something I've really covered too much. It's because my boy Hypnotic has had that coverage on lock. So if you really need to be filled in, if you for some reason have been living under a stone and don't know what's going on with Bud Light, he is got you covered. Hop over to his channel. But until then, we'll continue with this. Other brands, such as Target, Nike, Cracker Barrel, and Kohl's, have witnessed repercussions for releasing Pride-related merchandise as well. It's not about releasing Pride-related merchandise. Like Target was full-on targeting children with their LGBT merchandise. Like, there's a difference between, you know, donating to companies like Glisten, which advocate for child sex changes and hiding of gender ideology in schools from the parents, and something like what Cracker Barrel did, which was just have a rainbow rocking chair. The two aren't the same thing. I don't really know too much about the Kohl's or Nike situations, but I mean, Nike already uses effectively slaves to make their shoes. I really can't see the LGBT stuff being worse than that. But yeah, Target's a pretty big offender here. Target released released a pride-themed clothing line for children and tuck-friendly women's swimsuits that allow trans women who have not had gender-affirming operations to conceal their genitalia. The company's shares have plunged 20% since mid-May, eliminating $15 billion in market value, partly due to investor concerns about inflation's impact on shoppers. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. It's not like, if that was the case, then Bud Light, one of the cheapest beers out there, wouldn't have had, what was that again? $27 billion in lost value? No, it's because people are sick of this stuff. It's that simple. People are done being preached to and have this shoved down their throats. And anyone that says they're not tired of it, they're lying. The vast majority of individuals do think that, but they don't got the stones to say it because they're afraid of getting fired or canceled on Twitter or whatever may be. No. Finally, people are stepping up and putting their money where their mouths are, considering they weren't moving their mouths to begin with, and they're voting with their wallets, which you'll love to see. But man, it is, again, very strange. When you told me, hey, Bud Light, they're having a bit of a controversy for putting a tranny on a can of beer, I thought, that's strange. I think people who work on cars, you would think they'd want some sort of tranny on their beer. No, not that kind of tranny, like a dude that thinks he's a woman. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see why Bud Light customers freak out about that. Then you come to Target, and Target is selling tuck-friendly swimsuits and marketing gay stuff to kids. Like, okay, yeah, I can see why people freak out about that as well. But I did not make the leap to Dylan Mulvaney posing with a childhood cereal icon during Lucky Charms month. And look, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I have seen some transgender women on Twitter that are completely passable as women, and I was like, oh man, what a babe, and then realize it's a dude, after someone tells me. I'm like, well, they had me convinced, I won't lie, like, good on you. That's not this. You can very obviously tell that this is a dude. He's not even trying to hide it. This is a full-on mockery. This is just really, really average female cosplay. Although Target did remove some Pride-themed merchandise, they are a platinum sponsor of NYC Pride, which requires a $175,000 donation. Well, you know what? They haven't donated near as much as they've lost, considering their recent market drops, so good on them, I guess. In a recent interview with LGBTQ magazine Them, Mulvaney expressed her thoughts on partnerships with transgender influencers. If a brand wants to work with me so bad, then they should work with other trans people too. It's not enough to just hire me, this white, skinny trans girl. I want all the dolls getting all the brand deals. That is such a weird sentence. Like, it's almost a different language. Can you imagine being in 1999 and hearing a sentence like this? You wouldn't know what the hell it meant. Then again, in 1999, you also wouldn't have known what on fleek or lit meant. So, the English language is dying faster than the astronauts in the Challenger explosion. Look, at the end of the day, is it a big deal that Dylan Mulvaney is posing with Tony the Tiger? No, it's not really a big deal. It's just strange. Like, that's what it boils down to, is it's strange. And the fact that people want to normalize it is even stranger, because what good does normalizing it do? Like, how is that going to help the situation? Dylan Mulvaney is kind of the least of my worries right now, considering there's bigger fish to fry, like actual child predatory things happening at so-called family-friendly Pride events. We've seen video after video of on Twitter, little children being handed dildos or buttons that say daddy's slut. Oh yeah, completely appropriate for a 6-year-old. On the list of things to be worried about when it comes to the Skittles Brigade, it's not really that big of a deal that Dylan Mulvaney is hanging out with Tony the Tiger. But it does make you wonder why all these childhood brands are so gravitating towards these transgender and LGBT influencers. Yes, is it conspiratorial to say there's an agenda at work? Yeah, sure, but the Gulf of Tonkin was a conspiracy as well, and guess what turned out to be true? But those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Please follow me on Twitter at BoltTheWord, and please do subscribe. We recently got over the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is a huge milestone for me. Thank you so much. I cannot say I appreciate it enough. And please do check out the rest of the channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not just about things going on with the Skittles Brigade and Lucky Charms month, but also anime, movies, video games, you name it, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.